Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're looking at a young lady from Paul Young who goes by the name of Willows. This is what she looks like, and I have her in this particular exclusive color, so stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Coco and this is Coco's Hair Solutions. Today we're looking at Willows by Paula Young in the exclusive color Fudge Swirl, which is 3-101-1000. 1001. Okay. This is a beautiful mixture of silver and brown. And here she is on the mannequin. And of course, she's got that unstructured, tousled look. And it's a wedge on top of that. But isn't she cute? I have a feeling that she's going to look much better on more petite women than myself. But we're going to give her the old college try, okay? But don't you just love that profile? Look at that beautiful profile that allows you to see that lift against the back of the neck. And then all of these loose barrel curls. Oh my gosh, it looks like she's got some, it's mainly like spirals along in here. But you can break those up. You can make them a little less structured. You can actually create a little bit more smooth curl with them. She does come in the box a little more curly than the picture here shows. So I think you are free to do whatever you want with those curls that you get with her. Alrighty, let's take a closer look at this color, Fudge Swirl. It is a beautiful blend of salt and pepper with a little bit, not really pepper being black, but this is brown. And it's a really soft brown, but it's very cool and ashy. So this girl is going to give you those cool tones or a little bit more ash tones rather than the warmth of a gold tone. So we've got a platinum type of highlight going through here. And of course, they've concentrated the highlights around the face. She does not have a rooted treatment. So we'll just look at that. But you know, with the colors that she's been created with, it does give you a little bit of a look like maybe she is rooted. All right. Let's look at her cap construction. She has open wefts on the right and left of center, a little bit of closed lace going down the center to the crown. So we do have some permatease in there, not a lot, very, very little. And then of course the horizontal rows of hair curtains that are laying down, directing those fibers forward. There's a nice wide velveteen band going across the front for comfort, and then a row of stitched hair curtains on the underside of that front band to have the hair fibers coming out from underneath. And then open ear tabs on the right and left with metal stays. You can see the hair fibers that are stitched on that as well. So that gives you the same appearance. So all around from ear to ear, you're going to have hair fibers coming out close to your skin and the cap pressing them down between the cap border and your skin. So you're going to have a little bit more of a realistic appearance. We have a standard nape with Velcro adjusters on the right and the left. And then horizontal hair curtains going all the way across from side to back to side. So this is going to be an interesting young lady to put on. I'm anxious and a little hesitant. I don't want to prejudge, right? We don't want to judge a wig before we put her on. And knowing that she's open cap like this, she's going to be very lightweight and very cool. Being up off your neck like this is going to be wonderful in the summer. And so you can count on this young lady being a great little wig for summertime if you like curly short hair. So let's go ahead and see what Willows looks like. But before we do, what I have on today is Jaclyn Smith's Sunset in the color caramelized rooted brown. I've done a review on her, and I'll put that tag right up there for you to go look at her whenever you like. All right, so now we're going to try on Willows. Okay, here she is. Well, we all have these experiences, don't we? Well, okay, so I've got her up at my hairline. I've got the ear tabs even on both sides. I've got great coverage that comes almost to the edge of my hair, sideburn hairline. Okay, and now let's see what we can make this young lady look like. The cap, being that it's an open cap construction, it really does stretch and it feels nice on my head. So that's what I have been experiencing. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to do with this young lady? I think we need to get her looking a little more civilized before I do a little twirl for you guys. I don't want to expose her too prematurely, right? Okay, so we've got curl, and we can relax that curl a little bit by stretching it out. Not stretching it out, but running our fingers through it. All right, so let's see how they've got her styled. They have her mostly straight and kind of sticking out a little bit more. But maybe for me and my styling, and this particular wig, we have a little bit more of a wave, or not a wave so much as curl. We have curl. Now, what do we want to do with this? Do I want to... No, I don't think that one's going to look right. I'd like to get her situated, and then I'm going to do a twirl. Okay. Well, at least I think she's a little bit more settled. But we're going to play with her some more. But right now, we're going to spin for you, okay? Okay. Oh, goodness. But I know she's looking cute with that wedge in the back. Now, this young lady, like I said, probably is going to do well with a more petite boned, structured person. But, you know, if you're used to having curly hair and you like that length on top or across the bangs, let's see, we could trim some of those bangs if you really wanted to. And she's got that beautiful highlight all around the face. Now, it'll take me a little while to figure out what I really want to do with this young lady, but she is going to be just what she is. Well, let's look at her dimensions. Okay, this young lady comes in an average size only. She weighs 2.4 ounces, and she has a 5.5 inch front, an 8 inch top and crown. The sides are 4 inches. The upper back is 6.5 inches, and the nape is 2 inches. It's 2 inches. She's available in all 22 of Paula's preferred hues, plus this exclusive color, Fudge Swirl 3/103/1001. We can tame her down a little bit, and I think she is looking a little bit better. We can bring up the crown a little bit, add a little bit more height or silhouette, change the presentation of the profile, overall profile. She is something else, isn't she? Not for everyone, but I know that there are people out there who would look fabulous in this hairstyle. Okay, so let's kind of play with some of this. I think part of it is the profile that it presents around my face. You know, that has a lot to do with how our wigs look and how we perceive that they look. Because when we look in the mirror and I'm looking at this outline, I also am looking at how it blends with my facial structure. So when I'm got my mouth closed, which doesn't happen a lot, but with it closed, I have a very square presentation. But having something that is a little bit larger up here and that might blend a little bit more with my jaw here. And as long as I keep my mouth open, I have a little bit more oval presentation. Oh my gosh. I didn't really say that, did I? Okay. Well, anyway, I think this is a cute style. In fact, when I saw her in the catalog months ago, I thought, do I dare? I think this is such a cute little style. Let's see. And of course, I can really see something like a pretty blingy clip kind of just going right here, maybe to kind of catch this. Maybe just kind of like that. I don't know if bling is your thing. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, or you can take a plain one. Yeah, and clip it in there. I would stick with something probably silvery or white. You know, sometimes these little clips aren't quite big enough, but I do like using these little clear or white or frosty colored clips. And in this wig, that little clip disappears really well, but it would be enough to keep that hair from flopping into my face. And so who knows, you know, and those I get at any drugstore. So let's see. I don't know what else to do with this young lady. I don't think I would want to part her on the other side. She comes from the factory being parted on the left. And that's where I have her. That's what came. That's how she came. And of course, she's got that little zigzag part in there. But with her being so curly, you can kind of disguise that zigzag by allowing the hair to kind of fluff up a little bit. Not that you tease it or you lift it up very much, but it allows the hair fibers, instead of laying flat and open, you know, like the part here, and having that zigzag part showing, what happens is the hair fibers come up and they disguise that lower part where that might reveal some permatease. So that's another reason you want to try and do that. Now I can also see how maybe using a little bit of water might be kind of fun. I'm going to go ahead and do that, okay? Now I don't know how much, I don't want to use too much, but that just makes the curls a little bit more distinct. And maybe the colors a little bit more pronounced. So now as I'm wearing her, I'm finding that I'm getting used to her and I'm almost enjoying this. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me do a spin for you. I just spritzed her with some water so we can look at her here. Interesting, huh? Very. This is such an interesting hairstyle. It's a little retro, but you know what? I could see if you really had curly hair, it really might be an option for you to wear her like this. And of course, do you want to tuck her behind the ears? I think we can do that to some degree. Just, I would probably leave something in front. Okay, so that's an option. Having it be a little bit more behind the ears. And what if you have one of my headbands? Oh my gosh, stick that right where you had the ear exposed. Take that down here. Okay, how's that? Oh my goodness, that is very cute. I'm pulling out all of these curls. Okay, how is that? That is darling. Oh my gosh. Now, I did not even think about having a headband on with this young lady when I saw her in the catalog, but I can see this is so cute. Oh my goodness. let's try one of my other favorite accessories, my square band, okay? We'll try the black one since I have black on. And that definitely, especially if you want to bring out a little bit more of the curl. It might get lost underneath all that curl, but it is sure cute, isn't it? Oh, heavens. For a short little style, oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta try one of my metal headbands. So we definitely don't want it getting lost in the curls. But oh golly. Oh, that is so cute, isn't it? Very, very cute. Well, this is a lot more fun than I expected. All we need to do is have a chance and not judge our wigs before we start playing with them. And it takes a little bit of time and thought and experimenting just to see what your little wig can do. So anyway, oh, lots of fun, lots of fun. Would you wear her? Let's go take this girl outside and see what the color looks like in daylight. Okay, we're gonna step outside. We're gonna start in the shadow. Okay, chocolate or fudge swirl. That's what this color is. This is an interesting color, but beautiful nonetheless, isn't it? Very cute. Oh goodness. All right, let's step out into direct sunlight. All right. It looks a whole lot more blonde, doesn't it? Like platinum. Let's get into filtered light. Okay. We'll look at the top. Cute little style. You've got to be brave for this, young lady. Yep, got to be brave, but really fun. Hi, Oz. Okay, let's go back inside. Well, this lady is something else, isn't she? She could be a lot of fun if you let her, right? So, if you're brave enough and you don't mind wearing short curly wigs, oh, this could be a lot of fun. I can imagine the compliments that you would get on your hair color and your hairstyle with this young lady. Well, that's going to do it for Willows. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad you were able to make it. You guys have a great week, and I will see you next time in Coco's Hair Solutions, all right? Bye-bye.